book. The book is not for you to pick up. It's not for anybody else to pick up because we have the prophets. And the prophets are still risen up till this day. Do you see what
No,
I'm
false.
saying?
I don't. No, I don't. I don't know. You just added that last point. I don't know. I don't know.
Prophets
But
are risen
listen.
up to this day. That's why it's written that there would be a prophet in the latter days that God would choose to host his spirit.
Sure, but basically, you're. I don't get what answer you're
Basically,
looking
I'm
for.
saying you shouldn't be looking to a book. You should be looking to the mouth of the prophet that God has risen up to
No, we
speak
look to
for
both.
him.
We look to what the prophet says, and we look to what the book says.
Listen to me. But yeah, the books are there for the priesthood. But if you're not part of the priesthood, if you're not the prophets, you have no reason to deal with the books. So it's
Oh,
not
okay.
written to
So
you. No, listen. You try to say that they're easy to understand. No, all these books, people can draw their own conclusions and interpretations, which is why there are prophets. The books are not for
I
everybody.
said that, bro.
No, but the books are not for
I
everybody.
just
You
said
said
that.
that. No, you said that the wisdom of God comes from the book, but the books is not for everyone because everyone draws their own private interpretations. So I'm telling you, you shouldn't be looking to the books. You should be looking for the high priest or the prophet that God has anointed in our generation, because you're trying to make it seem like you know what you're talking about based on a book, and God has nothing to do with the book.
Bro, you're talking in circles, bro. You're literally just
You know,
talking in
I
circles.
yield, brother. I yield, because if you're not, if you, I asked you, what are you here to say? You couldn't really say anything, so therefore, I went into the mode of trying to reveal
I
something to
said,
you.
and I'll clarify. I'll talk about Islam because you're asking in general. So basically, the Quran in Islam.
No. Listen, bro. I don't need you to do that. You're trying to basically speak about your religion because we have on the page here that all religions are false. You're trying to say that religion is not false, and we're telling you that
Islam.
all religion is false because everyone draws their own interpretations concerning all these books. So I'm saying to you that it's not the book where God is speaking through, it's the men that are anointed to whom how we come to God to know God. God chooses real vessels, not a book. So anybody can draw their conclusion and interpretations based on the book we read, and you don't like it because Islam is a part of that. So you're saying it's not false based on the book itself or the Quran, but it's man's interpretations. So what
No,
I'm
it's
telling
not
you is
man's
that you don't
interpretation.
learn about no, bro. That's it. You don't learn about God from a book. You're trying to say that, but it's the prophets, all right, that God is anointed. That's why God chooses a prophet in our generation. So
Wait,
that's all I'm
but
telling you, bro.
Saint, you keep saying that man gives his own interpretation, and I'm disagreeing. I'm saying no. That's part of the reason why we have the prophet to give the correct interpretation. So man
Not
can't
written
twist
down
the.
in a book, though. It's not the prophet has to speak like you and me are speaking because the book you can get many interpretations. So once again, yes, the prophet, but hearing a prophet speak, that's what I keep telling you, not the book, because the book create false doctrines because men think they interpret what is written and they create their own religion and their own. So if everybody thinks they know God, how do we come to find the one truth amongst all these different schools of thoughts? That's what I'm trying. So Islam is one of those schools of thoughts. So if everybody is saying that they know God based on the books that they read, that's why we're telling you that all religion is false. Because God is supposed to choose a man according to the prophecies. That's why you didn't want to deal with the prophecies. But God is supposed to choose a man according to the prophecies. All right, that will put an end to all confusion in the earth about God.
And see, yeah, that's why he didn't want to read the prophets. He didn't want to read what the prophets say gonna happen in the last days that would have cleared up.
That's what I
Bro,
said. I said
you
you
How
you
don't
know
deal
all
with
you
the
know what
understand
a
it.
prophets,
you know what a wise man said? If you
bro.
can't explain something simply, you don't know what you're talking
Bro,
about.
bro,
No, you didn't
you
want
you
it
don't.
simply.
That's what I said, King. I said that he didn't want to deal with the prophecy. That's what I said.
Yeah.
He don't want to
deal with the prophecy, but
because he
just
wanted
like
you want to make stuff complicated. When you don't have the understanding. If you had understanding, you would have let us read, because the Quran say believe in the last days. If Muhammad not coming in the last days, why would I teach about Muhammad? Because Muhammad ain't gonna come in the last days to do nothing for us. So what I'm gonna teach about Muhammad for? So
because
right
Muhammad
now,
is a guidance.
brother man, right now when we try to show you prophecy of things that will be happening, and if you had understanding, you would let us went there.
Yeah, we could go there, but Saint is talking in circles about.
Okay. So you say we can go there?
Yeah, sure, we can go there.
You say we can go there. Let's go. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 2.
And don't try to derail from it, brother.
I don't got a Bible on me, only a Quran.
Well, I hope you're a great listener.
Let's go.
We're in Isaiah 2:1. We're gonna read to verse 3. You want me to read it?
I don't have my book.
It says, and the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. So in the last days, all nations are going to be flowing to a mountain that will be raised up in the last days. This is why the Quran told you to believe in the last days. So then it says, and many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So the word of God is not coming from a book, a Quran, a mosque. It's coming from an anointed vessel in the last days that will be on high. It means his understanding will be on high, because these books only give you elementary understanding.
But this is from a book though.
But it's telling you what's going to happen in the last days.
But the book is true though. You're saying the book is true.
Hold up. We never said the book was false. We say man and religion is false. The book is not religion. That's what the Bible is not a Christianity book, because I just told you what's going to happen in the last days. Pastors don't teach this. So no book is religion. Man who believe in religion use the book, which they shouldn't be using because they're not qualified.
Sorry, King. I thought you were going to the Quran. That's the book I was saying I didn't have. I didn't even hear you say Isaiah.
Yeah, I'm gonna read him Isaiah because I wanted him to go to the prophets, because this clearly say the last days, brother. This don't say 2,000 years ago. Now the Quran simply say it. Matter of fact, the Quran highlight the last days multiple times.
Of course, we believe in the last days.
Okay, so in the last days, somebody was gonna be teaching us, and it wasn't gonna be from the mosque. These are facts. And see, this is why no teacher of no religion talk about the prophecy. They talk about their religion.
Yeah, the thing is, though, we believe in a teacher in the last days also.
Well, if y'all do, we found them. That's all we have.
Wait. So how is it the last days right now? How can you confirm it's the last days?
Okay, it says, verse 3, many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord. So in the last days, many people was going to recognize the Lord. That's the Lord of hosts. That's the overseer of God's house, which will be the anointed one. And many people gonna recognize him, and they gonna witness, and they gonna tell you this is the one that you go to learn the ways of God. This is how you gonna know. It's no other sign. That's what the witnesses are.
It says that's the only way.
Well, let me get another script.
I don't see where it says that's the only way to know of him.
Hold on, let me get another script, brother.
Well, other than that, it's gonna be God. God gonna bless you to see and hear. Either God gonna bless you to be a witness, or you gonna get it from the witnesses.
So concerning the sign, all right, it's written in Isaiah 7:14. Behold, the Lord himself shall give you a sign. All right, so just like the side just brought out in Isaiah 2, that in the last days people will become to learn from the one that God has chosen to learn of God's ways. The sign of the last days and of that one is right here. Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall come conceive and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. So if you understand the metaphor, which is many people don't, the meaning of the sign or the one born of the virgin is the one that was born of the Spirit of God. So the one that's born of the Spirit of God, the things that he's saying, the wisdom that he's speaking will resonate with those that are supposed to go forth and testify into the earth that God has chosen as Christ. So the sign is given. And that's how we know we're in the last days.
And what sign was given exactly?
I just told you, the one who speaks the wisdom of the virgin. The virgin is the Spirit of God. So only that sign can register with the witnesses, the ones that were born to see God. That's why it says only the pure in heart will see God, because these are the witnesses that testify of the manifestation of God in the last days. So they were born for the last days to testify that we're in the last days, as they received the sign of the one who was born of the Virgin Spirit. And that is the wisdom that he speaks that comes from his mouth.
So one who speaks of the virgin.
Hold on. That wisdom resonates with the ones that are supposed to go testify of it. So the wisdom, the sign is not given to everyone. It's only given to the witnesses that were born to testify of the sign. And it's the Son of Man basically being born of God's Spirit. So that's the virgin spirit. It's wisdom that's undefiled, never touched, never been heard before. That's why it says in Revelations that they would sing a new song. Which is
the one who speaks of the virgin.
Huh?
The one who speaks of the virgin. That's what you said.
No, I said the one who was born of the virgin, which is the Spirit of God. So the man walking the earth that's born of the Spirit of God. How do we know that he's born of the Spirit of God? Because of the things that he would speak.
And that's a sign of...
Hold on. Which would be the sign that this is the one that God chose. That's why it says, therefore the Lord shall give you a sign himself. So the sign is the moment that you hear the one that's born of wisdom speaking. And when you hear that wisdom, you will know that it is he whom God chose. But not everybody would witness that moment. It would only be for the witnesses that were chosen. You see what I'm saying? So it's not everybody. That's why we keep trying to tell you that you can't learn about God in a book. This is a manifestation of the man being born of God's Spirit and him being the light into the world. You see what I'm saying? This is not something you can learn in a book. It's a manifestation. God's presence and coming is a manifestation that you cannot teach, because nobody knew when it was coming. It just happened when it happens, which is now, because we are those witnesses. We witness. Go ahead.
So the wisdom the man speaks is supposed to be so wise that basically you'll just know it's him.
Exactly, you got it, brother. That's
okay, well, my prophet has spoken like infinite amount of more wisdom than.
All right, so let's
than this man.
Just on you saying that, if that's what it is, then he will manifest as God's Christ. Simple as that. There's nothing to argue about. But we testify to you who the real one is, Yaju Judah.
Peace, Alex, too. I wanted to ask because you came on talking about miracles. So I'd like to know what's this miracle that you talk? Because you said the Bible, the Quran's a miracle. So I want to
Yes.
know, are you an eyewitness of this?
No, I'm not. I'm not an Arabic speaker, but Arabic speakers can testify to the Quran being a miracle. The linguistic miracles, um, just a bunch of miracles. You'll have to I can't explain it in depth because I'm not an Arab speaker, but
Yeah,
if you research more, you could see.
yeah, I know you can't explain it, brother, but I just want to know, are you an eyewitness of all these things that you're talking about?
Purely because I'm not an Arabic speaker, then
It's
no.
just a yes or no, brother.
I just said purely because I'm not an Arabic speaker, then no.
Okay, I'll take that as a no.
But Arab speakers are eyewitnesses of the miracle.
So you have to be an Arabic speaker to be an eyewitness.
Yeah, to understand the linguistic Arabic miracles.
No, brother, I'm just talking about eyewitness, but it's okay.
Yeah,
But what
because
my brother,
I can't read the Quran. I can't read it. I can read the translation. I can't read the actual Quran.
yeah, brother, I was just asking about eyewitness, but like what my brother man was saying, we're eyewitnesses of Christ being on earth. So really, the prophet you're waiting for is already on earth, and this is what we're trying to let you know. We're the witnesses, and we know it's Yah Judah.
And the wisdom. So what exactly is the wisdom that he's been speaking? Just summarize it.
Bro, no, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that, bro. This is
It's a new song, brother. Like it's a something new. That's why I said somebody that's born of a virgin. Everybody has been born of the filed information. So the Son of Man come with a new song. You ever read what 144 gonna learn a new song?
No, haven't.
Oh well, the new song is the New Testament, the one that testifies to know God in the flesh, and the witnesses gonna see this. You know, because right now your teacher says Muhammad is the last messenger, right?
Yes.
Guess what?
Islam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how you know he's not the one.
How?
The one wouldn't say that because the one will be coming representing God.
Bro, you called yourself, or they called you the last the Christ.
You never heard us say the last Christ, nothing like that. Quit lying.
Yeah, I said, or like the. Well, you're not the last messenger. I thought this is the last days.
Well, did you ever hear?
Well, because one thing, the message come from God, brother. Like, how can Muhammad be the last messenger when he received the message from an angel? Like,
no, you received the message.
He didn't even have. Like,
false.
What if angel? Hey, what if angel Gabriel show up with the same message? How can he be the last?
No, he didn't receive it from Gabriel. Gabriel relayed it straight from God. So
say it again, brother. Say it one more time. So you can yourself. Say it one more time.
So the chain of narration was it came from God, and from there Gabriel got it, and the angel Gabriel relayed it to the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam.
So say it 3 times for good measure, so you can hear yourself again. Because I just said he got it from Gabriel. So say it one more time. Well, how did Muhammad get it?
Yeah. So the originator was Allah. From there, Gabriel got it, and Gabriel relayed it to Muhammad.
My point. Okay, so you said the same thing. So my point was, how can he be the last messenger when he received the message from Gabriel?
From God.
Because all messages come from God. All messages start with God, brother. If it's of God, it's going to start with God. All messages starts with God. So we're not taking God out the picture. Muhammad didn't go to God. Who did Muhammad go to? Gabriel. Or Gabriel came to him. So my point is Gabriel still living, right?
Yes, he's still living.
So where is Muhammad still living?
No, Muhammad is not still living.
So Gabriel still got the message he gave to Muhammad, right?
Still got like still knows it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't. I
If
don't
you
think
had
so.
to
I
put
don't
your
think.
if
I
you
don't
had
think
to
he's
put
that.
your money on Gabriel being one of the top angels, if you had to put your money on him not having that message that was given to him by God, you'll put your money on that? You'll roll your dice on that?
Like that he remembers it. I mean, he could remember it. It's not his. It's God's message though. He just
So, but
received
my
it.
point is, how is Muhammad the last if Gabriel's still living and Muhammad's gone? Wouldn't
But
Gabriel be the last?
no. Gabriel related to one person. Muhammad related to billions of people.
So
I
now,
mean,
you know who Gabriel told. Now, if I can show you in the Apocrypha what a angel Gabriel talked to Idris, but what you have to say?
I don't know. Maybe he did. What's your point?
I'm telling you, he did. I can show it to you. He talked to Idris. So,
What's your point with it?
my point was, you don't know who Gabriel gave the message to. You ain't even. You say you can't even read the Quran.
Okay.
So how you know
can.
what?
I read the
So how you
translation.
know where the angel went to deliver the message, brother? You don't. This is why we have to humble ourselves and be meek.
Bro,
See,
I read the translation of the Quran.
brother, it says the meek will inherit the earth. Do you believe in that? Do you believe the meek will inherit the earth?
The meek. What's a meek?
Meek is really another word for humbleness.
And by inherit, what do you mean inherit? Like what are we referring to? The last days?
Well, yeah.
Like he'll be king. He'll be king.
Correct.
Yeah, because we believe Christ is coming back in the last days. So if that's what you mean, then yeah. But we don't believe he's God or anything. But yeah, he'll be king of the earth for 40 years.
Well, brother, man, I just encourage you, brother, to really open your mind and listen a little more, brother. Like, again, we just here with the spirit and truth, revealing to you the prophecies of God that's manifested before your eyes. And it ain't televised, and it's not in your religion, but it is in the earth.
And do you believe?
My God.
So you're Christ.
Yes.
So like, do you believe Christ is God or?
Well, Christ is the manifestation. Christ is flesh and blood. God is spirit.
And have you been spoken to by God?
God don't speak. I speak for God. That's why God has. That's why God.
No. Well, okay. How do you know? How do you know that you're the Christ? How did you know before you were relay the information? Well, like go back the earliest you could. You know, maybe you're 12.
That's why Christ is the anointed one. It's some religion called the spirit, but it's actually a thought that descends upon a vessel that's worthy to host God thought.
So you just had to. Not. I'm saying, like, did you just have a thought, or did like an angel speak to you?
No.
Did you have a dream?
That's why I say religion call it a spirit, but
If
it's
Christ,
a thought that comes upon a fleshly vessel that God chooses, and they manifest. Go ahead.
If Christ is the one that sends out the angels, how would an angel come and give him the message?
Yeah, he don't know nothing about Christ sending out the angels, because he don't read the Bible. But see, these are things that's going to take place in the prophecy.
So you like, how long have you known you're the Christ?
I would say probably about it's 2000. It's 24, right? I would say probably we're going on about 9 to 10 years.
And what was the point that you realized? You know, like what was the day?
Like I said, it's a knowing, it's an understanding, it's a foresight. It's just like I said, it's mainly understanding.
Like, do you know the exact day? Like, did you like February 2nd?
No, I wasn't keeping the days.
Why wouldn't you keep the day though? Like,
because
wouldn't that be?
I wasn't planning to be Christ. God anointed me to be Christ.
I'm saying, how did you know that he anointed you? Like, you know,
Well,
how
that's
did
what I'm saying. You know, that's just something that's like right now I could jump high. I can show you I'm Christ, which is again I gave you witnesses, but I just can't keep explaining to you how I can jump high. I can only show you. So when it comes to Christ, I can only show you a lot of things. I can't really tell you because you'll never understand, but I can show you, and these things will be proven to you, you know, as this prophecy continue to be fulfilled.
and
You
show by what, like a miracle or
no, the works that I'm gonna complete, just like Moses. When Moses went to Pharaoh, Moses was the Christ, but Moses couldn't go to the children of Israel and say, "Look, God anointed me," because that's really not what I'm. I don't need you to believe in me for me to do my works. I just got to do my works. So what I'm doing, I'm the one that's going to Pharaoh and all these United Nations and getting things in order for us to get us out of this bondage that we are in. So
Okay.
that's what I'm doing. So these things I will prove. Then you will know who I am.
Okay, so this is future though. Like we don't
No,
like
no,
we
this is
shouldn't
not
be.
future. These are things that's in the making. These are things that are happening as we speak.
Yeah, but I'm saying
that's why my brother man said you have to be chosen to witness. That's why I have witnesses.
okay.
But
So
if
what
you're not chosen to witness, these things are gonna happen. Then you will be a witness, which is the second resurrection.
Yeah, but because you said the works that you will complete. So like, what are we exactly referring to? Is this like a books or
No,
is this
judgment.
text?
Judgment day. Yeah, I'm the one that's judging the world. I'm the one that's gathering the saints to judge the world.
So we'll only know on Judgment Day. Your works.
Everybody will know on Judgment Day. Only the few will know in the beginning, which is the first resurrection. But everybody will know once it's done. The whole world will know then. That's why it says Christ coming on clouds. Because when the whole world see Christ, they're gonna see Christ with a bunch of witnesses who have testified to who he is. These represent the clouds. See, that's how the world gonna see Christ. And that's why it says in Revelation, even those that pierced him gonna see him. You know, but right now, Christ is that thief in the night that's on. That's taking the world, light that came into the world. This mystery has been revealed to those people.
And like, so I guess what I'm looking for is like clear cut proof. Like, you know, like Moses, he split the sea. He turned his staff into a snake. Every prophet did crazy miracles. Like the Bible says, Christ walked on water. You know, so like, what is a clear cut, like the clear miracle? I'm like, yo, it's undeniable.
You know what messed me up with those miracles when I started reading the Bible? They didn't believe Moses. They didn't believe Jesus. You know, they said, Jesus, how are you the Son of God? We know your sisters. But you telling me he just turned water into wine, they still don't believe? Because that turning water into wine was parables, brother. Like right now, I'm dividing information for you right now. All this watered down information that everybody driving in, I'm dividing. And I'm giving you solid ground so you can get to the other side. But you don't believe who I am. That's all Moses did. That's why they told Moses, who made you leader over us? This is what they told Moses. Who made you the leader over us?
After he split the sea?
After he split the sea. You see what I'm saying? After he defeated the musicians. They worshiped the golden calf after he did all these things. Because these things are not literally, these are metaphors, symbols. You know, so right now turning water into wine, that's a watered down information. You're gonna get drunk with the truth.
All right.
These ain't no miracles that people, this ain't Hollywood, bro. This real life. This a real life prophecy that's connected to real life people.
And could you summarize it? You know, like exactly what is the miraculous wisdom that you're providing? Can you like summarize it, or you know, like in general, like all religions are false?
Every man alive. I prove every man a liar and God to be true. That's why I'm the one that's creating Israel. Israel is being born with the way, the truth, and the light. This is how we overcome the devil. And our name get changed to Israel. God is real. So that's what I do. I'm proving every man a liar. Because God's word is the sharpest thing known to man.
Just we've been in our dialogue for about 45 minutes, so we do have another guest. So
No
brother,
problem.
do you mind kind of like summing up your last question or statement?
Yeah, I'll make my way out, but I feel like Islam is the true religion. Islam. What you're saying is like it's kind of like it's like kind of like a trust me, bro. Like that's what I'm getting. I'm not getting no real proof, no real wisdom.
Nah, it's more so manifestation that is only seen by the few, which is the first resurrection, meaning the first people that are resurrected to a higher enlightenment in the manifestation of God. The second resurrection represents the world. So it's not something for us to make you believe, it's something for you to just watch. But see, some of us would witness and testify. The rest of the world would just be the ones that would have to mourn. You know what I'm saying? Because it says those that pierced him. These are, when it says all eyes will see and every knee will bow, that is the whole world, especially those that have pierced and went against this prophecy, especially against the witnesses that are testifying. And they're going to mourn because they rejected Christ. That's the story, that they would reject the Son of Man, and they would mourn in the end.
So quick question. So you think the Bible was like entirely metaphor? Like there wasn't a man.
No, there is a man. There is a man.
No, I'm
right
saying
now.
in the first century, like with Rome, like that.
Those
Jesus
men,
is
look,
fake.
the men, we were talking about those specific men in the beginning of the conversation. The prophets, the Christ. All right, Moses was a Christ. All right, Noah was a Christ. There were men that God used to speak. So if you were not going through Noah in his time, you weren't coming to God. If you didn't go through Noah, you weren't going to Moses in his time, you weren't coming to God.
Right.
So it's the same
I believe
thing.
that too.
Huh?
No, yeah, I'm saying though, like I'm specifically
So,
Jesus.
so we're saying listen. We're saying that Christ is just a title for a high priest or the anointed man that God has chosen in that time. So, in this particular generation, we know that there is a Christ. We just happen to be the ones that are testifying and witnessing. We're the witnesses. So it may seem weird that out of all the world, out of all the panels in the world, you come across the panel of Christ. Well, if you believe in the prophecy, you believe in what's written. Yes, we believe in the manifestation of the prophecies, but not your 2,000-year-old story that you can't testify to, that you can't witness of. You can only accept the story that's been handed down to you. So we reveal that these stories are actually stories written about our generation, not 2,000 years ago. It just doesn't make any sense because everything written in the parables talk about the latter days or the last days, and we're in the last days.
Okay, but that only goes for Jesus. It don't. Wait. So, do you believe Muhammad is a prophet? Host.
Well, I
Do you
believe that
believe he existed?
I believe that there were prophets that don't specifically or necessarily have the names that are written in the book, but I believe that there were prophets that God spoke through and used. Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying though, like you said, I think you said Jesus didn't exist. Or did Muhammad exist? Or
This is what I'm telling you. There were I never said Christ. I'm using Christ because it's a title. So I can't say that that Moses' name was Jesus Christ because Christ is a title.
bro,
See what I'm saying?
I'm saying the son of Mary.
No, bro. I already know what you're saying. I just need you to stop and listen. I know what you're saying. I'm trying to explain it. Christ is a title. Therefore, men were not really called Jesus Christ, but they represented the Christ, just like the Jesus Christ in the Bible. He's another Christ. So what I'm saying is Moses, I don't even believe his name was Moses, but whatever prophet that God was using at that time, whatever his name was, he was a Christ. So whatever this Muhammad or whoever, I don't know his name,
Islam.
but I know that these names weren't it's not exactly the name that you read in the book. That's all I'm trying to say. But they represent real prophets. Yeah.
No, it was. I mean, you could say this about the Bible, but like the Quran has way more evidence, way more eyewitness accounts, historical evidence.
Once again, and this is we're gonna yield. I guess we're just gonna yield it for you because once again, the it's about the manifestation of God. So we're trying to disconnect you from the book and have you watch the manifestation or look to the manifestation of God because the book is not getting no one nowhere. That's what we're trying to tell you. So with that said, brother,
No problem.
I guess we can yield out of the dialogue and
Hey,
yeah.
I hope we're both right, You think we're both right? You think only like man, like y'all think y'all think we're gonna stand in front of God,
Bro, we are in front of God. That's what we've been trying to tell you the whole time.
I'm talking about judgment.
No. We're gonna yield out, but just on that, I'll read this last scripture for you to show you. This is Romans 1:21. It's written, because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were they thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. So on that note, brother, we're gonna yield out. Thank you for coming up.
Alhamdulillah.
Understand that God is amongst us, because if God is amongst us, people, that's what shows you that people won't accept the image of God because it doesn't fit their imagination. So they're not accepting the image of God and they won't glorify God as God. The manifestation of God is not according to people's imagination, God coming out the sky or any other sort. But the manifestation of God is the prophet or the man or the Christ, whoever you want to call him, just the man that God anoints with his spirit. That is the manifestation of God in the flesh. So because people don't want to accept that, they don't glorify him as God. But that is the idea of God. So God is already here. So with that said, brother, we say peace and blessings. Thank you for coming up.
What you got for peace to you, brother?
Rizzy Ross, I know you've been waiting for a while, brother. Peace and blessings.
Good, man. I just want to say thank y'all, man, for being who you got.
All praises to the Father, man. So what brings you on the broadcast, man? Did you have you heard any of the conversations? Anything intriguing? Anything spark you?
Yeah, basically, when Yaji was talking about God is real, I got really passionate about that. I'm just trying to understand it all. I kind of understand it, but I'm just trying to receive the food from Yaji.
That's what's up, man. That's how we all got it, bro. That's how we all. I mean, whether people are a part of this awakening, which is the first resurrection, is people wakening up out of sleep. That's why it says that the time would come that the dead would come out of their graves. They would come out of their graves, which means just the dead state of consciousness when they hear the voice of the Son of Man. And those that hear will live. So the key part to that whole parable is those that hear Meaning, when they hear the truth, they will live because they know that it is the one that God has chosen. They hear God's voice through him. So this is about hearing the knowledge of God in the last days. It's not about reading the book. It's not about pretending we know God. It's about truly hearing the one whom you just, spoke of. And it resonates with all of us. That's why we become the witnesses. So it's encouraging to hear you say that, brother.
But I wanted to ask you, you checked out a petition? Oh, that's real, bro. Salute to you, bro. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, man. Yep. I don't know. Just these conversations, man, with these guys that like, is it just me or did he really have nothing to talk about?
Man, the thing about when I learned of why they call us sheep and goats and rams, when you watch rams headbutt, they headbutt to stand at the top of the mountain. So most everybody that come up here, they just want to headbutt. If they ain't got nothing, they gonna want to headbutt. And sometimes, man, rams headbutt for hours.
That's crazy.
And guess how they taunt each other? With their tongue. They stick their tongue out to let their opponent know they ready to headbutt. Wow. So what we do? We sticking our tongue out by running our mouths to headbutt with one another, to stand on the mountain.
For no particular reason.
I guess you call it human nature. I guess you call it human nature, man. Sometimes I don't even know why, but I just try to find a solution. And the only thing I came up with, well, you could call it the animalistic behavior or the human nature. But that's what rams do, bro. Headbutt.
That was profound, King. Like, when you put it like that, I'm like, damn. Just the headbutting part, I'm just wow. But go ahead, Rizzy. I know you're about to say something.
They soar like an eagle, fam. Soar like an eagle. Let the crows flock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got to go higher, man. That's real.
Well, we just went straight into it tonight, man. We didn't open up enough, man.
Oh yeah, we introduced. Cause I know, man. Like I say, TikTok a little fast, so I just try to get him with a little different. So like I said, he ain't let the deacons get in. He was boom. I went with the energy and the flow. But we do have another guest in here, Todd. I can't say that name.
No show. You show?
You show. So, peace to you, brother. What you got for us?
Yeah, I just had a couple questions for the host, if that's fine. Can y'all hear
go
me?
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to ask, do you believe like all religions are false, or is there like some type of a, let's say, religion or some type of a sect that is true?
All religions are false.
And you don't believe that there are some type of a people or a sect or a group that are true?
Christ is the truth, the way, and the light.
Oh, so you guys are believers, like you believe in the Bible?
We understand the Bible.
Oh, so like you don't believe it, you understand it?
Well, it's nothing to believe in. It's something you have to understand. You can't really believe it. You can believe, belief is a kind of a loose term. Understanding is the key. So right now, you believe in the Bible, but you don't understand it.
Oh, like I'm kind of confused. Do you have like the revelation of it? Do you accept it as the truth, or you just
No,
understand it?
I told you the Bible tell us. The Bible don't say the Bible is the truth. The Bible say Christ is the truth.
Of course, man. Yeah.
Okay, so why would I say the Bible is the truth if the Bible is the basic instructions to let me know what is the truth?
Mhm.
See what I'm saying? So you believe in the Bible, but you don't understand it.
Of course, yeah. You can't just read it. You know, you need to like understand it as well and stuff like that. But you don't call each other anything. You just
I don't what?
you don't call each other anything. Like what type of like belief is that, or like
Spirit and truth. It said to worship God, you must worship in spirit and truth. It never said join a religion to worship God. But the Bible does says to worship God, you must do it in spirit and truth. That's what we are.
Well, I was always a Christian, but like last year, it was kind of like messed up. You know, like I thought it was kind of messed up being called a Christian because Bible doesn't teach us to enter some type of religion and stuff like that. Rather, it just calls us like Jesus told his disciples to go to all nations and make everyone a disciple, right? So that's what I just call myself. I call myself a disciple of Christ. I try to follow his laws and stuff like that best I can. But I don't seem to call myself some type of a religious uh like name. Like let's say call myself Catholic, Christian, or Jehovah's Witness, stuff like that. Just call myself Christ's disciple, that's all.
Okay, so I would ask you this. Would you rather be a disciple like you read in the Bible, like Christ told you to come follow him? Or would you want to be a disciple of Christ and not hear him tell you to come follow him?
Sorry, I didn't understand it that much. Can you repeat
Well,
that
for
like
instance,
slowly?
are you waiting for Christ to come back?
Yes.
So if you're waiting for Christ to come back, wouldn't you think Christ is gonna call his disciples like he called them in the book? Because Peter didn't read a book and become Christ's disciple. He heard Christ's voice and he said, I follow. So the Bible says, my sheep hear my voice.
Voice,
Now you
yeah.
say you following Christ, but at the same time, you ain't heard his voice. So can we agree when Christ come back, is not Christ gonna speak?
Of course.
So if Christ gonna speak, would not Christ also gather his disciples like you read in the book?
Yeah.
So religion might be even though you might not be a part of religion, it's these religious teachings that we have to hold on to that also cause us to stumble.
I think
Because
that's
to follow Christ, you have to hear his voice. You can't follow Christ just because you read a book or just because you say you follow Christ. You got to follow Christ and be actually called by Christ in the flesh, just like you read in the book.
It makes sense. It does make sense. Because these Christians, they're like, when I was going to the churches and stuff like that, I didn't feel like it was it. That's what we should do and stuff like that. And that's why I stayed away from the churches and rather uh, have my own relationship with God, straightforward through Christ. And
Well, brother, you definitely rolled up on the right panel. It's a lot of food on the table right now. It's a lot of bread from heaven. And you definitely have to have a pure heart and an open mind to receive the truth. Because it does say, it's written, the pure heart gonna see God. So all these people in religion and studying all these books, it's the pure heart that's gonna recognize the things that come from God. And the wicked gonna accept the things that come from man. So in these times, the pure heart are becoming witnesses of what God is putting in the earth. And like I said, and that's the kind of wisdom that we are giving out.
Can I ask you something?
The
Can I
true
ask you
prophecy
something?
that's being fulfilled.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to ask about what you think about Lilith, because I've heard she was the first wife of Adam,
Well, yeah, she was the foul spirit.
but was she the
That's
first wife?
that's why you got two Adams. You got the fleshly Adam, and then you got the second Adam, which is the spirit Adam.
The spirit Adam is the one that was in the Garden of Eden.
Well, you could. I don't know if Lilith is talked about. Lilith is talked about in Genesis.
Couple times.
In Isaiah, ain't Lilith in Isaiah? So like, let me see how they got the garden red, because Adam transgressed. Because you have to understand, the second Adam is the resurrection of the fleshly vessel or the fleshly being. That's what Adam represents. Adam represents the priests of God that will resurrect to their spiritual ascension.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the Adam in the garden would be the priests that haven't ascended yet. That's why when they heard the voice of God, they realized they was naked and they hid from God.
Mm.
You know, but then they would have to rise to their ascension, and you know, so it's just parables, man. That some is explained wholly, and some is just explained for the teaching.
Yeah,
They don't
and
give
then
the whole story, and that's why you got to read the Bible precept upon precept, line upon line, because it's a lot of parables that be in these stories that we might read in Genesis that is connected to all the prophecies throughout the Bible. So even when someone read about the second Adam, they don't understand, like a second Adam, they get, oh, well, if you understand what Adam means, what the parable mean in Genesis, you'll understand why second Adam has to come about. Which is simply the new mind, the new flesh, the new understanding. You know, that will help him resurrect, because Adam represents mankind, which is the man and woman that has to ascend above the false teachings, the devil, the deception, or whatever, you know, name you want to put on it.
Mm. So do you accept that she was his first wife?
Yes, deception.
Okay, so whatever let's say the scholars, or I don't know what they're called, decided to take that out of the Bible, do you disagree with them?
Well, I'm not too wisdom on how the scholars really change the scriptures like that. I know I heard that before, but I'm not really, you know, too much, you know, I haven't too much really researched that kind of information to verify, give a clear answer, you know, whether they took it out, you know, because like I say, I just know that Lilith is only found in Isaiah, if I'm not mistaken. It's not even in Genesis.
Yeah, you can find her in the book of Enoch too. She's mentioned many more times than in the Bible.
In the book of Enoch, I don't think I ever really seen.
It doesn't. In Isaiah, it doesn't say Lilith. It only says her.
All right, so in
brackets,
Isaiah,
I think Lilith or something like that in brackets. I think so.
Well, I thought one of the prophets it had Lilith in them.
Because what I know, that like what I've been told is like after Lilith, her situation, then she went out of the Garden of Eden, and then all of a sudden there's many more people. You know, it wasn't just Adam and Eve. There was more people. It's about these people like worshiping Lilith and stuff like that.
Adam and Eve represent many people. Adam and Eve represent the priests of God. That's why they was the keepers of the garden. It was Adam and his spirit. That's what it was. It was man and woman and the spirit, which is the thought.
I heard both sides.
So the Adam and Eve story is not really about a man and woman. It's about the priests who was keepers of the garden of information. And that's why they was told not to eat from the tree of good and evil.
Knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, so because once you know good and evil, it's almost like confusing. It's like a double-edged sword. So right now, the Bible teaches pure people good and evil, which is what confuses them. So now they turn stuff that's evil good, and they make good evil, or think it's evil. You know, because they don't understand life. So you're supposed to eat from the tree of life. So, but this is the instruction for God priests, and this is what the Adam and Eve story is really about.
The reason why I'm asking is because, like, many people would say most of us are mixed up, and some of us are from the 12 lost tribes and stuff like that of Israel. But then, because like I said before, I heard two sides. I heard that one side is we're from Adam and Eve because they're the first on this earth and stuff like that. But then I heard that Adam and Eve weren't the only ones created. There were more people created, but then some church fathers or something like that took that off because it was contradicting some other verses in the Bible. That's why I'm asking. Are we like, do you believe that you're from the 12 lost tribe of Israel? Or do you think you're probably from one of those that were outside of the Garden of Eden? We don't know
Uh, I believe I'm of the lost tribes.
Yeah. Can I ask which one?
The house of David.
Yeah. We're Levites.
Levites are the firstborn of every tribe.
Yeah.
That's what Levites really represent.
Yeah. It's
Simeon
been
and
told.
Levi brothers.
Yeah, it's
So,
been told that they didn't get a nation or something like that, no?
Yeah, that's why they were set apart. You know,
Yeah,
the first fruits of God, the first fruits of God are set apart. So that's what Levites mean, the firstborn of every tribe. So, because every tribe have a certain mind frame. So that mind frame is going to be given a message of each tribe, because each tribe is, some of them called animals. You got Judah as the lion. You know, you got Benjamin as the wolf. Who else? An animal. I think you got Issachar, like a donkey. You know, a wild person. So you will have each tribe will have that image, that mind frame, and then they will have someone to come out of that tribe, which is a Levite, to bring them that message. That's why I say, if you ever have a Levite that's sojourning in your way, you have to accept him, because he will be the first fruits of God.
Yeah, till now we don't have a nation or a country.
Well, no, we don't even have a priesthood. That's what the Son of Man does. The Son of Man restores the fallen tents of David, which are those that house the Spirit of God. Christ come to restore them, the angels, the fallen angels, you know. So Christ will be an anointed Son of Man that have the information to light the candlesticks of the angels. To create the Israel. That's why they call it Israelites.
Israelites.
Yeah.
And where do you think the promised land is? Just
that's why I say the promised land, you can look at it two ways, man. The throne of David will be established in Ethiopia, but the promised land is really a state of mind. It's the promise that was promised to us, our redemption. You know, to set us free and give us rest. That's the promised land that's really taught in scriptures. But where our government would be established, where our priesthood would be established, it will be in Ethiopia, East Africa.
Yeah. Do you know Emmanuel, the Orthodox preacher? That's on TikTok.
You say the what?
Do you know the Orthodox preacher Emmanuel? He's on TikTok. Older.
Nah, but I would definitely love to speak with him, but I don't know.
Basically, he said that these Israelites and stuff like that, people, they've been waiting for promised land, but they don't know that the promised land is their grave. That's what he said.
Is the what?
It's their graves.
It's their grave?
Yeah, that's their promised land. That's what he said. I'm not taking it for a fact. I'm just repeating what he said.
Yeah. Well, I say I love to talk with him.
Yeah. There's like, I think there's many opinions on many things from the Bible.
That's why Christ come in the volume of the book to prove every man a liar. That's the whole point of Christ coming in the volume of the book. These teachers, rabbis, or whatever, they come in the interpretation. The Bible has no private interpretation. So Christ comes take the book from everybody and fulfill it.
Of course.
So now the devil, which is the deception that's coming from all the religious teachers, is removed from the face of the earth. That's how Christ destroys the devil. That's what Christ comes to do, to cast out the devil.
So you guys are Israelites, yeah?
Well, we're not really Israelites. We don't really associate with the Hebrew camp. So, but if you understand the prophetic vision of the Israelites, we are that. But we're not Israelites according to the Hebrew camps and what you see on the street corners. That's not what we are.
Yeah, of course. So what do you guys think of like Jesus? Is he like, do you think he's an appearance of Jesus, or I mean appearance of God, or is he God in flesh, or or is he just the Son of God? How do you like know him?
He's the image and the speaker for God. Christ is the image and the speaker for God. God is spirit. Christ is flesh and blood.
You said he's the speaker for God.
Correct.
So, is he like connected with God? So whatever God is saying, he's saying. Or
but God don't talk. God is spirit.
Yeah, of course, he doesn't talk like.
Yes. Okay. So since spirits don't talk, Christ don't really say what God was saying because Christ is the manifestation of God. So Christ speaks enlightenment and does the will.
Said he only does what his Father tells him.
Correct, but that's through thought. It's not really saying like God just speaks directly to flesh. It's a thought, and that thought is manifested.
But how do we know that's a thought?
That's why I say that's why people was gonna be chosen to witness the flesh that God choose.
Okay.
You see, that's why Christ won't be convincing you. Christ will be doing the will of God. And if you recognize that, that'll be the blessing that God bestowed upon you.
So you don't believe God talks?
Well, I know God don't talk.
Like, let's say to his prophets or I don't know.
No, God reveals. God is thought. That's like your mind. Your mind don't talk, but what it do? It reveal. But if you ain't have your mind, you wouldn't be able to talk. So imagine God as the biggest brain on earth. It's not your brain, it's not my brain, it's the biggest brain on earth. And it just like your brain sends signals to your tongue, your eyes, your ears, God sends out signals.
Yeah, so I believe that too. Yeah, I believe that.
But the Christ, God is gonna send a signal to. He's gonna send all 7 signals to this individual, and he's gonna be the speaker and the image and to represent God for the other angelic beings.
So what about when he was wrestling Jacob? He was face to face to him. He was speaking to him. He was talking to him. How do you explain
that's
that?
what I'm saying. These are parables, brother. These are just parables. These are
parables.
That's why I say every time God speaks, it's through the flesh. God never talks.
Of course, I believe that too. We cannot comprehend God as he is. We can only comprehend him if he takes certain appearance or like, I don't know.
Well, the Bible let us know the word became flesh. Why does the word become flesh? To interact with the flesh. Right now, we in flesh and blood. So if God want to interact with us, what God gonna choose? A flesh. That's why our prophets will come from among the people. Moses came from among the people. Noah among the people. Abraham among the people. Muhammad among the people. So where is our anointed high priest at? All we saying we found them. We know where he at. We the witnesses of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and see, that's what no religion has. No religion has the anointed one of God. They have their private interpretation.
Yeah, that's true. So you guys disagree with Muslims too?
All religions are false.
But let's say like you believe in the Bible, but you don't believe through religion. So you just understand the Bible. Let's say that's what Muslim does. Let's say some type of Muslim. He doesn't call himself a religious name, but he understands the Quran. Let's say, what do you think of that? The same way like you do. Is it false or is it still? I mean, is it true or is it still false?
It's still false.
Even though
Because
he does it
Christ,
the same way like you do, yeah.
well, no, I fulfill the Bible. Everybody not gonna fulfill the Bible.
Of course,
Only
amen.
Christ gonna do that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like only Christ gonna fulfill the Bible, brother, man. So even by me saying that, if I don't fulfill the Bible, I ain't Christ. You see how it work?
Yeah.
That's why Christ gonna be set apart. So Christ will fulfill and do works that no other body will do. That's why everybody gonna know God is real.
Yeah, that's true. And what do you think of Judas? Do you think he's in hell or heaven?
Judas walking the earth right now.
Judas walking on. Yeah, that's what the Bible says, no? But do you think after his, let's say when he's done walking the earth, do you think he's gonna end up in hell or heaven?
Well, no, he's gonna have eternal fire.
Eternal fire.
Eternal fire is he gonna burn within for his actions. The eternal fire is not. Heaven or hell is a state of mind.
Yeah. But does the Bible say he will end up in hell?
Does the Bible say he end up in hell? Well,
Yeah.
no, he gonna be where the weeping and gnashing of teeth gonna be.
But how do we know that?
Because these things are happening.
Yeah, but obviously.
I just told you. This is what you don't understand, brother. We not reading the Bible in past tense. The Bible is a future prophecy that's happening now.
No, the reason why I'm asking, because you said you understand it, and I believe you do. That's why I'm asking you, what do you think about Judas? Because in the Bible, it doesn't say that he will end up in heaven or hell. But I'm asking you, what do you think? Like, will he end up in hell or heaven?
I just told you he's gonna be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
But how do we know that? Is it from? Do you know that?
Because I said these things are happening now. They happening. That's how we know they are happening.
So what about Peter? Will he end up in heaven or in hell?
Who?
Peter. He was a disciple too.
I don't know. I ain't understand what you said.
I'm talking about Jesus' disciple Peter. Will he
gonna
be
in
in
heaven?
heaven?
Peter gonna be in heaven, yeah.
Yeah, but he betrayed Jesus too.
No, he denied him 3 times.
But that's still betraying, no?
That's not betraying. Okay, but brother, man, you know, like I said, I'm just answering your questions, brother. You know.
That's how I understand it. That's asking, you know.
But no, he gonna be in heaven. That's why I say on Peter, I'm gonna build my rock.
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Peter, I'm gonna build my foundation. The rock, I'm gonna build my foundation on.
Because I think Judas may be in heaven. Yeah. Even though the Bible said that he was someone took his spot, some other type of disciple. But I don't know. Because the reason why he was part of the revelation, he had to do it in order so that what happened would happen, you know? Because I think if he wouldn't betray, then no one would have get Jesus. Because Jesus even said everything must happen, whether they liked it or not.
Okay.
But it sounds kind of like it doesn't sound weird what I'm saying though. It doesn't sound like stupid, no.
Nah, it's just like I say, you know, when you in
Confusing,
the
probably.
Sabbath day, some things you just know. So I get where you're coming from. I get your concerns. I get your wonder. But you know, we're in the knowing. That's why I say these things are being manifested.
Yeah. Because
You know,
even the
like we are actually witnesses. Like right now, when you go to court,
Mhm.
you can't talk about things you ain't witnessed. You go to jail for that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So at God's judgment day, you can't talk about things you have not seen. See what I'm saying? That don't hold up in court. That don't hold up in God's court. That's why we were supposed to be meek, humble, and righteous. That's it.
And you know,
And God was gonna reveal the things to you. That's why the Bible say, wait on the Lord. But we didn't wait. We picked up the book. We went to study. We went searching, and leaned to our own thoughts.
Yeah. And you know, on the judgment day, when the followers came to Christ and Christ told them, "Depart from me, that for I do not know you," and stuff like that. And then they said stuff like, "Didn't we cast out demons in your name? Didn't we preach your name and stuff like that?" But that wasn't Christ's interest. You know, that wasn't what he was looking for from. He was looking for people that have heart. That if they see some type of a man laying down, he wants you to go to that man. So don't feel ashamed that someone will look at you. Wants you to help that man or give someone water if they're thirsty, if you have water, or food, or clothe them and stuff like that. That's what I think Christ is looking for. He's looking for people that have heart, that wouldn't leave something that needs help, you know, or something like that. Because I believe that is God. That is like not testing us, but that's God. If someone is homeless and you walk past them, I believe it's like you walk past God. That's what I believe. And I think Christ is looking for these type of people that are strong in faith, but also hearted, very hearted. That's what I think.
Well, you said that's what Christ is looking for. So are you saying Christ from the book?
Conversation. That's what I see from the conversation when he said, "Depart from me," because when I was thirsty, he didn't give me water. When I was hungry, he didn't give me food and stuff like that. So that's what he was looking for. That's what I'm just saying. It's
Well,
not something I'm adding into it. I'm just explaining what he was looking for. He was looking for someone that is hearted, that is given, that is not feeling ashamed to help someone that is in a wheelchair that needs to get up in a hill and there's no one to help him. He wants people that will go take that person and help him up the hill, you know, to don't feel ashamed. That's what I see from the conversation.
what about the ones in the prison houses?
The ones that are in prison, like in jail.
Well, is that literal jail or is that spiritual jail?
Could be, yeah. Could be, yeah. Could be one of them or could be both.
I say that it's a metaphor, because if you're really imagining Christ coming to open all the jail gates around the world for people who have done bad things, when it says deliver the captives, I don't believe it's talking about people that are physically in jail cells. Some people, because of society, are in jail for a reason, because they've murdered people and they continue to do things that disrupt the you know what I'm saying, the laws in the earth. But so I don't think it's just talking about opening physical gates. I believe it's referring to those that are captive by deception,
Could be.
because it says the truth shall set you free. So if the
Yeah.
truth shall set you free, then that means that the bondage is a spiritual bondage. It's deception.
Well, the reason why I said could be one of them or could be both is because I was 4 times in jail for no reason, with no evidence, and the judge always left me with no evidence and stuff like that. And they always rewarded me because they put me there for no reason, and no one came to visit me. I have so much cousins, friends, families, and from my wife's family's friends, no one came to visit me. And you know how I felt? That's why I said could be both. And also I said I don't know.
Well,
I don't have to
I'm
experience
just
that.
I'm revealing to you that what's written in the scriptures is you know it's prophecy.
It
It's
is.
prophecy, you know, about what's manifesting. So when you talk about Christ, the scriptures reveal that Christ will be amongst us. So how you feel about that?
Like, do you mean when Jesus was resurrected and he said about the Holy Spirit that if he leaves, there will be a spirit with us? Do you mean that?
No, I
Or
mean that what I mean is that God would physically raise up a prophet in the last days to be Christ.
uh, I heard about this. Is it the part where there will be like a new body and that will be Christ?
No, I'm talking about a specific man that is chosen by God to be Christ in the earth in the last days.
Yeah, of course.
So do you believe that we're in the last days?
Uh, from what I see, yeah.
So shouldn't we be looking for Christ, the actual man?
Does it say that he will be like dwelling with us like for a certain time?
Yeah, it says that he would be walking in the earth with us. Not a spirit, like, but an actual real flesh and blood man. That's why I was asking, like, because you say, you know, about what Christ said in the book, but the book is written about Christ actually walking and talking here with us in the last days.
Wow, I never heard of this. Never heard of
Okay.
this.
Would you
First
like to
time.
see? Would you like to see
Yeah,
some of the scriptures that prophesy that?
yeah, brother. Yeah, go on. I'm actually getting chills, bro. I never heard of this.
All right.
He's
Let's
walking with us, then that's that's crazy.
all right. Well, I guess maybe I can start in how about we start in Deuteronomy?
Wherever you feel is the best start
Well,
from there.
there's a couple of different areas. So I'll start in Deuteronomy though.
Yeah.
All right. Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 18. But verse 15 first. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him shall ye hearken. Verse 18. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren like unto thee, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. All right. So we got a prophet that's being raised amongst the people, and God says that he would put his words in his mouth, and that we would have to hearken unto him. So he would be basically like another Moses.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that Christ is just a title for a high priest like Moses.
I wonder who that can be.
Well, let's get some other scriptures here to kind of just show you that he's amongst us. All right, let's see here. What is that? Isaiah 7? No. Where it says that he will raise unto thee a king. What scripture is that?
Raise unto thee a king.
A righteous branch.
Oh, you talking about Jeremiah 23?
Oh, okay, yeah. Jeremiah 23.
23 and 5.
All right. Here's another one. Any ones that I'm missing, just feel free to bring up, brothers. I'm just kind of going through them. Jeremiah 23 and 5 is written, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. So who do you think that king is? The King of Kings?
Christ?
Yep. He shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. So you know how it's written that Christ comes to judge and make war? This is what Christ will be doing. It says in verse 6, in his days, meaning the days that he walks the earth, Judah shall be saved and Israel will dwell safely. And this is the name whereby he shall be called, the Lord our righteousness. So you got the Lord our righteousness. He's not physically called this, but he would be the righteousness of the covenant of God, meaning the things that he shows us and tells us and commands. He's the messenger of the new covenant. That would be Christ himself. So just showing you that this is an actual high priest amongst us, walking amongst us. Then it says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, meaning they're not going to say anymore, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all other countries, whither I had driven them. So basically, this is pointing to the days that we're in. So his days represents, because Israel's been scattered all over the earth, right? Mm-hmm. So we know that this is talking about the seed connected to these days. So the days that Christ would walk the earth would be in these days.
I heard about this verse, what you just read. It just reminded me. But I heard that this wasn't Jesus, because some Muslims were trying to say that this was referring to Muhammad, but it couldn't because the king was from the north.
But this
is the first time I'm hearing it's for Jesus.
When we just read the Lord our righteousness, who is that?
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm thinking of God.
Right. So who represents God?
The Son.
Exactly. So the Lord our righteousness can't be Muhammad, because Muhammad ain't the son of God. So from this point in this day on, you know that this is talking about Christ, right?
But some people don't know exactly from what certain day or like age it was talking about.
Well, that's why I connected to you. Okay, so do you see that Israel is scattered all over the earth?
Yeah.
Okay, in all countries, right? Mm-hmm. So when we read verse 8, let's read verse 8 again. But the Lord liveth, meaning now people are gonna be talking about the Lord liveth, which is Christ walking the earth, which brought up and which led the seed. So this is not talking about the fathers. This is talking about their seed, which is this generation, the seed of the house of Israel, out of the north country and from all other countries, whether I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. So this hasn't happened yet. So if we're in all countries, then this is referring to what days? Now, right?
Of course, sounds like that. Yeah.
Right. So, like I said, from this day on, you should let nobody tell you again that this is talking about a different time, because this is all describing this generation or the generation where the children of Israel are all in different countries. So we're talking about deliverance, and we're talking about deliverance from all countries that the Lord has driven the children of Israel to.
Yeah, but what I got in mind that even 1,000 years ago, Jews were scattered up everywhere.
All right, let's get just to go a little bit further to show you that this is speaking of this time, which is the last days. How about we jump to Isaiah real quick?
And sorry for interrupting again. And I think I don't know what's the religion called, but I think in the 1500s there was a man who said that Angel Gabriel was revealed to him another gospel. Something I would think is the Mormons or something like that.
All right, well, I don't want to jump too many different areas. Kind of want to stay on topic, but then when we finish with this, we can deal with that. But were the children of Israel brought back from all countries and brought back to their own land?
Yeah.
You believe that?
Well, I believe that Jews are going back to Israel. Like
When?
Well, like let's say 100 years ago, Israel wasn't that filled with Jews, and now it's filled, like fully filled. They're building, etc. They're making Jerusalem more.
Okay. Okay, brother. So check this out. That I know this is a little bit probably like too much, but the Israel that we're talking about is a people. The Israel that the Bible prophecy is talking about is a people. So these people are scattered all over the earth as of right now, because you just said that we're in the last days. So
Well,
this means that not thousands of years ago, but now, or sometime in this generation, all the Jews from all over the world that have been scattered into all countries. This is what this prophecy is referring to.
If you're saying when we say Israel, we're talking about people, then from where did they depart into like other nations? Was it from
Well, if you
Israel?
really want to get technical, from Africa.
Africa,
Yes.
yeah.
Because it's the house of David. Hold on. The house of David is in Ethiopia.
Yeah,
The
I believe that.
Solomonic. You ever look up the Solomonic dynasty?
Probably, but I don't remember.
Yeah, the Solomonic dynasty is in Africa, in Ethiopia. So look up the siege of Magdala, and you can see the connection and the correlation, and definitely see that the Solomonic dynasty, which is the house of David, is in Ethiopia. That's where the Bible originated from. So
Exactly.
So therefore, when I say that Israel is a people, it's not places on the map. So anybody can name a place, because we can name a place right here in America. We can name it Africa, and then years later, people will think that this is Africa, but the real Africa. You know what I'm saying? So the names. Israel is not a place on the map; it's a people. Jerusalem is a people. It's not a place on the map that you can just say is over there, over here. So that's why we're trying to tell you that really the African, you know what I'm saying, or Ethiopian, people coming from the house of David, the Solomonic dynasty in the house of David is in Ethiopia. So you can't just say that Israel is a place on the map. It's a people. Well, I don't want to get too far off. I want to get back to the prophecy. Can we do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm in Isaiah chapter 2, verse 2. It is written, "It shall come to pass in the last days," that's the focus, that's the key. The last days, that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains. So if the mountain of the Lord's house, remember now here's a clue. The house of God is a people. It's not a place on the map that they can direct you to. And remember, these people are scattered in different countries. So if the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, then where is the house of the Lord now? If it's going to be put at the top, where is it at now?
I don't know.
Where's the other direction from the top?
At the bottom.
Oh yeah, bottom, yeah.
Right. So the
I was
house.
trying
No, that's all good. So the house of the Lord is not recognized in the face of the earth yet.
Mhm.
So it can't be Israel or what they call Israel over there. You see this? So the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains and shall be exalted above all hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And so if the house of the Lord is in this place they call Israel already, everybody